Welcome everyone to the wrap-up module. In this module, we'll be breaking down A to Z, the full sales mastery phase. We're gonna do a quick breakdown of each module and leave you excited and capable to take your next calls. In the first module, we went over our introduction, but more importantly, understanding your why. Guys, your why is something that you're gonna lean on when times get tough. When times get tough and you don't have a true why, it's super easy to give up and burn out. This is something where you might have to dig deep and dark. But the best part about it is you don't need to share it with anyone, and it just needs to make sense to yourself. It just needs to make sense to you to get you through all the highs and lows of the agency game. We also went over how to truly understand where you want to be financially. You need to understand this all the way to the cent. But more importantly, what that does for you. What does that do for you personally and for your family? How does that make you feel? Then you need to understand if you continue doing what you're doing right now and not taking as many sales calls as you need to be taking, how long is it going to take to get to that desired result? And lastly, but most importantly, you need to understand the ramifications behind not taking action, just like we did for our prospects. In the second module, I went over what it takes to win, meaning doing everything you need to do every single day, no matter how you feel. A cool exercise we went over is building up your enemy. Your enemy is a version of yourself that does everything he or she needs to do every single day, no matter he or she feels. I wrote down 20 to 30 characteristics, which I challenge you to do as well, that I read every single night to make sure I gave the day 100% effort. Please write down your 20 to 30 characteristics of your enemy and make sure you're competing with him daily. In the third module, Matt went over what he thinks it takes to win and selling as an introvert. As you can probably notice, there's an interesting dichotomy between Matt and I. And that's why we're really good partners, yin and yang. There's a million ways to prep yourself for a sales call and to conduct a sales call. You just need to take action. And I really hope that you appreciated the two different perspectives. In the next module, we went over building authority. Not only building authority in yourself, but building authority in how others perceive you and building your Zoom background. Guys, the first is confidence in yourself. The way you perceive yourself is the way others perceive you. It is so important. We also need to remember how we dress on sales calls, right? If you're speaking with a contractor, maybe throw on a polo, make them feel comfortable. If you're speaking with a lawyer, maybe get a nice button up, but don't have your chest showing, be professional, button it up. The whole goal of this, guys, is to make the prospect feel comfortable. Again, as you guys know, we're selling based off of emotion, not logistics, and we need them to feel comfortable enough to be vulnerable with us to build that emotional gap. Additionally, guys, we went over building your Zoom background. It's so important that we're professional with our Zoom background. You don't need to have a Miami skyline. If you're in your mom's basement, that is completely fine. Just make sure you have a soft light in your face so you're looking good, and you have a mic. Your background should also have a few nice things in place just to make yourself look professional. Super inexpensive. Number 5 is cold calling, something that myself and Matt touched on. In 2024, the best way to schedule appointments for free is cold calling. You get so much data for free. And not only can you build an offer based off of this, but you learn about the industry and you pick up industry lingo. Guys, the last thing I want you to do is burn thousands of dollars in paid ads and not close any clients. You can gather all of this data for free through cold calling and other outreach tactics. Also, you don't want to build an offer that's based off of an assumption. You don't want to assume someone's pain points. You really want to understand them and create the offer from there. And transitioning into our creating an offer module, another really good way to craft an offer is look at the biggest competitors in your space, see what offer they're running, and rip the offer from them. Again, we need to make data-driven decisions, not emotional-based decisions. Then we went into the 7 beliefs of sales. The pain belief, understanding their pain. The money belief, are they financially qualified? The support belief, making sure that all decision makers are on the call. The doubt belief, making sure we can overcome if they've ever been burnt in the past. Number 5, the desire belief, getting them in their goal state. Making sure they understand how much money they want to make all the way to the penny and what that does for them personally. Number 6, the cost of inaction belief. What if they don't take action? And number 7, the trust belief. Do they trust that you're different than others they've tried in the past and ready to make that change with you specifically? The whole goal of this module was for you to understand our framework rather than just ripping our script. You need to understand why you're asking the questions rather than the questions line by line themselves. In the next module, we went over the intro call and the call prep for demo. We taught you how to build the perfect intro call script and the optional pre-call video to warm up the prospect from the intro to the demo call. Guys, remember, this is our framework. Always stick to the framework and even use our script at first. But over time, you're gonna wanna make your own iterations for your niche. In the next module, we went over the demo call, discovery, and pitch. Guys, what's the most important part of the sales process? As you know, it's a discovery on the demo call. This is where we build the gap from where the prospect is to where they want to go. The framework for demo discovery is truly understanding their pain, getting their ideal buying criteria, getting their personal goals, getting them to understand where they are right now, and then most importantly, the consequences or ramifications behind not making a change. Then in the pitch, we use all that ammo that we got from the ideal buying criteria and deploy that on our pitch. And then deploy that on our 3-pillar pitch. Remember what we do, how we do it, how it benefits the prospect. Then we went over the full sales process, A to Z, in a different perspective. Again, guys, the whole point of this module was for you to understand why we're asking the questions rather than just the script itself. In this module, we went over finding intent, breaking down the situation, pinpointing the problem, exhausting solutions, exploring desires, uncovering consequences, and the pitch. I hope this new perspective lit up some light bulbs in your mind why we ask the questions that we ask. In the objection handling module, we learned the 2 types of objections, logistical and fear, and how to handle both types. Remember guys, we started with the brief overview and then we went really complex, how to handle all the intricate objections. You don't need to know everything. I closed my first 100 clients before I knew any type of objection handling. You just need confidence and conviction. And as you take more calls, you'll learn how to objection handle over time with practice. In the module following, I did a role play with Matt. We role played from the cold call all the way through the close. I hope it was helpful for you to see all of this in action. And especially because Matt was giving me some pushback, I want you to see how I handled it. Then we went into the call review. We actually reviewed a call from Tony, a 7-figure agency owner, following our framework. Again, I wanted you to see our framework in action. We pointed out some things on the call that Tony did really well, and a lot of things that Tony could work on as well. Then, myself and Matt did a Q&A. We spoke about the commonly asked questions in agency sales and spoke about the agency sales space as a whole. After that, I snuck in a quick bonus, Tonality 101, right? We learned about the upward and downward inflections. Super important in sales, which is really just a cherry on top in sales, but I wanted to add it in for you. And now we're in the final module, the wrap up. It is so important to remember, selling ethically is the best kind of way to sell. Being genuine actually increases your close rate due to all of the market saturation. This is not the frickin' Wolf of Wall Street. We need to be genuine. I also want to hammer home how important it is to be inquisitive. Guys, in the intro call, in the demo discovery process, we want to ask as many questions as possible. I challenge you to only ask questions. This is not about you, it's about the prospect. What you say is garbage. What the prospect says is gospel. Guys, there's 3 types of salespeople. The salespeople that think sales is just pitching their product. Then you have the guys that think that sales is you seeking to understand the prospect. And the 3rd type of salesman, the professional salesman, knows that sales is about asking the right questions to have the prospect learn more about themselves, understand where they are, understand where they want to go, and understand that now is the time to make a change. Another thing I want to mention to you guys is that aggressiveness wins an SMMA. You need to be aggressive. You need to have confidence. You need to have conviction. Guys, I have 20 salespeople that I currently manage right now, and the guys that don't make it are the guys that don't have conviction. It's not the guys that don't know how to objection handle. It's the guys that don't have confidence and conviction. And you might ask, Josh, how do I have a conviction in a product that I'm never fulfilled on? The best way to have confidence is believe in yourself that you're going to give 100% effort to fulfill for this client. In the beginning, guys, no one ever knows what they're doing. They always sell a client and then they figure out fulfillment. But if you know, and you're confident in the fact that you're going to give 100% effort in the way that you fulfill for your client, and you're just gonna try to learn along the way, that's the confidence and conviction you need. Remember back to when Matt spoke about the magic pill. Guys, for local business owners, marketing is a magic pill. You need to be selfless on these sales calls. You cannot let them walk away, because you know if you let this prospect walk away, they're never gonna get a marketing solution and their business is gonna die. Guys, their businesses live on sales and marketing. You must be the one to save them with a proper marketing tool. Do not be selfish. You need to be aggressive. Out of all the salespeople I've managed in the agency space, aggressiveness wins. Not only for yourself because you're getting clients, but for the clients that benefit from being on board with you. You need to expend all of your energy pulling these prospects across the finish line. Think about at the end of your sales calls if your life is on the line. Or more importantly, what if your prospect's family's life is on the line? Because it truly is. Marketing is that pill for them. It will either make their business if they have it, or if they don't have it, it will kill their business. And that's why you always need to remember your why and giving 100% effort 100% of the time. You also never want to stop selling. I see a lot of newer agency owners sell maybe 3 to 5 clients and they focus all their time on their product. Guys, it's not enough clients to dial in your product. You can never stop selling. The more sales you get in the door, the more data points and chances you have to refine your product. You don't even know if your product works until you have 25, 30 clients. You must never stop selling. And the last message I want to leave you with: where do you want to be? Where do you want to be in 5 years? Financially, all the way down to the cent of personal income. But more importantly, personally, what does that do for you and your family? How will that make you feel? And more importantly, how will that make your family feel when you get there? If you continue doing what you're doing right now, how long will it actually take to achieve your desired outcome? Will it even be possible? And lastly, what if you don't?